Greetings, beloved friends. It's 12:12 and time for Awareness Moments with Kyra. And it has been such a powerful time that we're in. So much is swirling, and we're looking at our own inner journey more powerfully and hopefully paying attention to the different feelings and experiences within us than we have before. And I want to encourage us at this time to recognize that the energies that are flowing through, my experience of them at least, is that they are amplified right now. Welcome, Steph, and welcome, John, and the others that are joining in right now. So glad to have you here and for your comments and letting me know you're with us. We are in a time of amplified energies. Welcome, Kimberly. It is truly, and Frida, welcome. It is truly a time where the energies that are coming through are stirring up the depths of our being. As we're getting to sit and be with ourselves, we get to see what is it that is within us that's rising to the surface. Where are places where we still have old energies that maybe have not been resolved yet? Beliefs and one of the big ones that's up for a lot of people is dealing with uncertainty, dealing with the uncertainty, and we tend to then access old patterns as a result. And so as a result of that, we tend to kind of access old ways or places where we've still held ourselves in bondage to some idea about ourselves, or possibly shame or guilt, or different ways of perceiving that no longer serve us in living comfortably with ourselves in the now, without carrying the bondage of the past, without going into the anxiety of the future. What is it to be fully present right here and right now? Welcome, Jeannie. Glad to have you with us. And in this moment, we are being invited to recognize that the amplified energies are taking those places where maybe we've thought we've done our healing work before. Maybe we felt that we had cleared and we were present in a new way with things. And then all of a sudden, here's this old thorn in us, or area where we're feeling frustrated or insecure or angry, or like I said, there's a lot of shame, guilt. Hi, Lopez. Great to have you with us. And in this moment, we are being invited to notice there's a lot of extremes happening for people. They may be at one moment feeling such joy and celebration in the moment that we're seeing that the world is shifting, that something magnificent is happening here, and we know that. And so welcome to Jennifer and Daryl and Mary Ann. And in this, as these energies are amplified, we're getting this opportunity to see where we are still carrying a false idea about ourselves, about the world, that take us out of comfort in the moment, out of being in peace and harmony with ourselves. And these amplified fields of, for example, the shame or the guilt, oh, I should be doing more, oh, it should be different than this, or the guilt that we've carried over feeling that we're not enough, or that somehow we've not done our part. This is really up right now for people. I'm hearing from a lot of people, and they're looking at and evaluating and judging things that have occurred. And it's a great thing to do as long as we don't use it against ourselves, as long as we don't use it against ourselves or others. That in this process, welcome Stacy, in this process of these amplified experiences, shining the light in those places where we're still carrying those self-doubts, those struggles, those experiences that we have believed we're not enough, or that somehow we've made errors. We haven't done it all perfectly. Oh, anybody got that going on? There is no such thing. And the realization that we're meant to come into this now moment and find an inner appreciation of ourselves and a gratitude, and be willing to notice where we're uncomfortable. Where am I not willing to feel the feelings that I have? And I've stuffed them in, and now they're they're up again, good to see you, Richard. And John, yes, betrayed, unappreciated. There's all kinds of different ways that we've carried out patterns, and they are responses that are actually embedded in us in ways that we've perceived ourselves in the world. And we are being invited to begin to settle in to it not being what we expect it to be. Oh, hello. And I think we all get that right now. It's not what we have expected it to be. All right. No one's expected it to be like this. We don't really have the awareness of how do we deal with all the things that are in front of us and all the mixed messages of the world right now. And so they're getting to that place in us where we feel vulnerable, where we have not felt secure within ourselves. And then it gets into that place where we've carried those old wounds, those old beliefs about ourselves that no longer can serve us, or beliefs about others, because anything in us gets projected out into the world, into others, and we get this opportunity now to say, am I willing to notice without that becoming a part of my identity? I don't want to take on that this experience that I'm having is who I am. And so I can experience what is here, and the extremes of it are interesting. One moment, the elation and the sense of this freedom in this moment, and the next moment, the heaviness of what we're experiencing, of what feels like being bombarded at us, which is actually ourselves giving rise to those things that have laid within us, that have been in our dormant field and are now saying, no, I'm not going to carry this forward in the same manner anymore. I'm no longer going to pull myself apart from these different ideas and beliefs about myself or the world. Because whatever belief I have about myself, I'm also going to have about the world. Some of us project it inward, all of us project it inward, actually. And all of us project it outward, because it begins to manifest in experiences that help us see that I have some place that I'm still carrying shame, some place where I don't feel I'm enough, some place in me that feels like, oh, the world should meet my expectations. And there's something wrong if it doesn't, with the world or with me. Instead of being in harmony with the unknown, with the uncertainty. Uncertainty is certainly a principle of life. The change is constant, and yet we want to control it, and we want to make it feel more comfortable in the moment. Well, we're getting invited to say, it may not feel comfortable. Are you able to be comfortable with discomfort? Are you able to look at those aspects of yourself and observe them without it meaning something about you? You can say, oh, I can see that I have wanted the world to conform to what I want. And when it doesn't, I'm angry. When it doesn't, I start thinking I need to do something more. I need to make it happen differently. Oh my God, it's not safe. And we begin to, constantly be in this back and forth between the idea that the world's not safe because it's not doing what I want it to do. People aren't doing what I want them to do. Isn't that usually the way that is? Welcome Marty and Aaron and Leona and Allison. And you're right, Kimberly, outward is inward. See, anything we're seeing out here is really a reflection of our own belief system, our own ideas about ourselves. So as we are healing Mother Earth by taking a step back, we're healing our input on her constantly, right? Are constantly affecting what is out here. And we're actually doing that with ourselves. When we take a step back and turn within, we're no longer affecting everything, and we start to see it the way it rises and falls, comes and goes. It's this and it's that. It's not either or, it's both and all the time. And it's all about, what do I choose to do with that? How do I perceive that? Do I make it about me? Do I think it means something about me? See, this is the difference. When we recognize that, yes, I may have those feelings within myself. I may have shame. I may have guilt. I may have anger and frustration. I may have a sense of, I want things to feel more secure. But what do I do when I don't have that? When it's not like that, then do I take it on and make it mean there's something wrong with me? I should do things differently. Do I make it that there's really, it's the key is the core. Do I let go of the core and recognize at my core, I am whole. I am good. I am in well-being. I am divinely made in the image and likeness of God, right? So how do I hold the equilibrium and call myself back from these extremes that feel amplified right now? Like if there's joy, we may feel it so completely right now. If there's frustration, we may feel it so deeply. If there's this, I can't stand this. I don't want it to be like this anymore. I need to go make something happen. Then we start stirring ourselves up. But if we step back and come into the balance within ourselves, you know, nature is such a great teacher for us. And welcome Rhonda and Roz. And in this process, as we open to nature and how it's informing us, it constantly comes back to balance. A tree doesn't judge itself by whether it has fruit. I know it's not consciously engaging in the same way we are, but it just continues to grow and do what it does. And we're here to just continue to do what we do in this moment without all the extraneous ideas about it, but to allow this amplification time, this intensity of feelings that are up for us, to inform us where we still have places that are unhealed, places that want to be loved into this balancing, into this harmony of there is movement, there is uncertainty, there will be uncertainty. There is times of great stillness in the midst of this. And can I be comfortable in the midst of that stillness, of quieting myself? And I don't need to understand. I don't need to know. I don't need to make it different, but I can just observe what's showing up. If I can see it clearly for what it is, without needing to stuff it away, deny it. Hi, Arlen, welcome. Any of those kind of things, then I can just observe what is showing up. Oh, wow, I've got some sense that, oh, it's not perfect and it's making me angry, or I'm not perfect and I don't feel comfortable with that, and I want to show up differently, and I condemn myself if I didn't do this right or that right, or I'm in judgment, or the others, all those others out there that are doing it right or wrong. We keep that polarization alive rather than amplifying the truth that we are at home right here and now in harmony with ourselves in this now moment. It's the only place we really can come to the resolution of those opposites and the amplification that's happening of those, to allow us to bring them to the surface, not deny them, but also not let them run us anymore. See, that's the key, isn't it? To not let any of those things run us anymore, those old beliefs or fears or shame, guilt. What did you say earlier, John? You said betrayal, unappreciation. There's whatever it is for us, whichever way we're perceiving it, has to do with what we do in ourselves, in ways that we operate. And so this is always one that's a challenge for a lot of us to say. It doesn't mean you take responsibility for those that you're not responsible for. I'm not suggesting that. I think you need to get clear about what's mine. But most of the time, our only place that we affect is ourselves. Ultimately, it is the place where all effect begins. All cause begins to create an effect. So when we go back to cause, to the God consciousness, to the awareness within us, whatever name you want to give to that, to our light being, that we were born in divine innocence. We are a beautiful expression of light and love in this world. And so those places that have felt that they weren't, or that need to be brought in and loved, that's really the ultimate thing, right? To love ourselves completely, and therefore we can show up and be an observer without hooking in and making whatever is showing up mean something about me. Because I know who I am at the level of my soul, at the essence of who I am. And I invite each of you to just take in a breath with me right now and let go all of those struggles and fights. Yeah, let's do that again. That feels so dang good. Let's do it. And as we let that out, let it out, you know. I often say you can physically do this. It helps us to get that physical expression out. You actually just like go ahead and do it, you know, do a squat while you're doing it and let that energy out. You're releasing and freeing yourself from the bondage of where that energy has been stored in your body. And that is a help to the mental construct and the emotional part of us that gets stuck. And so as we are opening to this divine spirit that is aligning divine order in our lives, each one of us, all the places where we have resistance and want things to be as we want them to be, or we have impatience because they're not where we want them to be yet, etc. Hi, Renee and Elaine. Welcome. Glad to have you with us. That we begin to breathe through. And all it takes is to really see what's there without attaching to it, to breathe through it completely and then set it free. So I invite you to find that inner freedom today, to love all those parts of yourself, to feel this amplification and allow it to be a great benefit to you. Rather than, why am I feeling these big mood swings? Just allow them. Know that they are showing you places where I want this, and then I'm all happy when I have this, and when I don't have this, I'm unhappy. Notice those things, you know, and go, how can I find my balance and stay in that harmony and that peace and be a presence for this world, for the healing that we're all seeking, for the awareness that we are one with all of creation. Hi, Agbai, Agba, Agwu. So great to see you. And each one of us get this opportunity that this is the place where we turn back into our God consciousness. We turn back into that divine awareness, to the light of our being, and we allow it to just inform, just move through, and we don't have to go on the roller coaster ride. So my hope is you come to that center point. I mean, sometimes we perpetuate it because we like roller coasters, but some of them are not so fun all the time. So let's hope that the emotional roller coaster is slowed down, and we come into this place of a pure acceptance, allowing what is, allowing ourselves what is, freeing any shame or guilt or struggle or resistance. And so then we can find the beauty and the wonder and the magnificence in each moment. We can be in the presence right here and right now. Because that divine presence, that infinite self, that light of the world, it is in each one of us, and it's here for us. So take some breaths. Let them go. Observe what's amplified for you right now, but step back and see it from that observer point. Hey, I love you all so much. I send you great blessings, and may we all find that this time is bringing us to greater awe and wonder, more healing and wholeness and freedom to be where we are and find that inner beam that is straight and narrow in the sense that it is opening to us to that infinite self. And so I want you to find that light in you that knows the truth of who you are. You are magnificent, and I am grateful to be in your radiance right now. God bless you, friends. Have a great, great day.